Hi, Facebook. It is Krisha here. And I am feeling all sorts of nerves right now talking to you because I'm getting really far outside of my comfort zone and doing something that I've actually never really done before, which is basically talk to you about something that I'm going to eventually, or that I'm in the process of selling. And this is incredibly, incredibly uncomfortable for me, which is really interesting considering, I help women with this, with sales sometimes if it comes up in the coaching. And yet I am not very good at selling my own stuff. And I want to share something with you because this has literally been a year in the making, or more, probably more, but definitely a year in the making. Last year, I wrote on a whiteboard this new program that I wanted to teach. And it was going to be all about goddesses and all sorts of stuff. But I was like, it just didn't feel right. It wasn't resonating with me. But I knew it was going to be something really powerful. It just wasn't ready yet. And what needed to happen was this last year for me, all the pain and everything that I've experienced over the last 12 months, so much joy, so much pain, a lot of change, like stepping into a version of myself that I wasn't sure if I was ever going to be able to reach. And being surrounded by amazing people and everything that's been going on this year, it is now pouring out of me, and is in this new program that I have that I'm really, really excited about. And it's going to help a lot of women. This is how nervous I am. I actually have notes because this is so deep for me. This is so much on my heart. This work that I have a very hard time articulating it because this is my gift. And this is where a lot of people struggle in their own businesses because it's really hard to sell for yourself. It's not the easiest thing to do to sell for yourself, because we often just can't see our own gifts. We often just can't see it. And it's like, why would I sell this? This is just so natural to me. And that's what this whole entire program is basically an extension of my soul. It's an extension of the work that I've been doing on myself and with my clients for the last several years. It's going to be deep and it's going to be transformational. Last year I had the Delicious Life movement, and that was like a fun program. I ran it, I think 4 or 5 times, and a couple of them were okay. But then like the last 2 were really kick-ass, and there were some fantastic women in there, and there was a lot of transformation that happened in that program. And I was really excited about it, but it was more about food. And that was at the time that I was like, I don't want to do food anymore. And so really this program has been this culmination of the last few years. And because I really wanted to do another group program, but I didn't want to do Delicious Life Movement, and nothing else was really coming to me in between. And it's coming now because obviously it's time. And it must be time because I'm doing a freaking live stream to sell it. And that is just not something that I really do. And this actually feels really good and really liberating. So this program, it's, what's happening right now is that women and men, but this is for women everywhere are feeling this pressure to ascend, to really create something new in their lives. And what's happening though is the women who, don't have like spirituality on tap, they're not equipped emotionally, right? Like maybe they've done a little work on themselves, but not a ton. And maybe it's like meditating once, every few weeks or something like that, or there's yoga involved or whatever. There is an attempt of self-care for sure, but it's not very deep. And so whenever there's an emotional or financial or whatever wobble in their life, they're just not equipped to handle it. And then the wobbles keep coming because you're just not equipped to handle it. And the next thing you know, your life is just like kind of falling apart. And this is happening to a lot of women right now. A lot of people right now are literally watching their lives blow up in front of them. And, there's so much going on. And the people who are not equipped to be able to emotionally handle this are going to really struggle. And I see it, right? People are struggling with this. And so the antidote to this is like teaching women, well, my antidote to this is teaching women how to be so freaking deeply in touch with yourself, so deeply in touch with your intuitive inner knowing, so full of love for yourself, self-love, all of that, so that you can, and like deeply connected to some sort of spirituality, connected to something that will allow you to have faith and have trust and really rework and rewire those neural pathways that just send all of those negative signals all the time. And these signals get passed down to your body. And if you're not paying attention to your body, which most women are not, most women are up here. And so teaching you how to go down here is really going to help you to become a fucking goddess, like a badass goddess. That is what I want to help create, right? Is women who feel that way at a deep core visceral level. Because this, when women feel like this, now we're in a place of sovereignty. So we don't need to be fucking tough and all of that kind of stuff. We don't need to be like that. We can be deeply feminine, deeply sensual, deeply however we want to feel, loving, compassionate, and yet the strongest person in the room, right? And I want us to reclaim the word pussy. Like, I'm so irritated every time I hear somebody call somebody a pussy in a derogatory way. Excuse me, do you not know how powerful that is? Like, oh my God, thank you for that compliment, right? Like, this is what women need to like step into, because this ascension that we are all going through right now, all of us, they're going to take out people who are, it's going to take out people who are not doing the inner work to be able to adapt and grow. We're entering a time where like emotional intelligence is a real thing now, right? Like, we're noticing this everywhere. There's emotional intelligence cropping up in corporate. So to not be emotionally intelligent, or to not have the tools and the systems and everything that you need in order to be able to handle the crap in your life, it's going to be very difficult for you as the years go by, right? So it's really, really, really important for women everywhere to do this work and to step into this. And I have been a guide for this for years. This is what I've been doing with women for years. But I was, it started out as the nutrition, and then it moved into all these different niches, and nothing ever felt right. And it was like, because it's just this. And I don't have like sexy names and sexy marketing and, copywritten sales pages or any of that kind of stuff. All I have is a freaking passion to teach women this work, because I've done this work and I know how profound it is to do this work. And when you do decide to make changes and things are going a little cray-cray in your life, you can handle it. Like, things are interesting in my life right now. Like, really interesting. And I'm the happiest I've ever been. And whatever's going on right now would have messed me up only a few years ago. Like, I wouldn't have been able to handle this, what's going on right now. And the cool thing is that, a lot of the stuff that's happening has been initiated by me because of wanting to have this deeper connection with myself and this deeper connection with spirituality, and recognizing that there were decisions that had been made that were not in my highest and best good. And doing all of this work allowed me to be able to come to peace with that, and to be okay with that, and to be excited about the changes that are happening and the cool stuff that's coming down the pipe for me, right? So this is what I want for women. This is what I want, and I don't want to be a leader per se. I want to I kind of look at it like, I'm like Jon Snow kind of thing. Like, he was a leader, but he wasn't like on his high horse, like he was just sort of at the front and people trusted him, and he was like vulnerable and he didn't know what he was doing half the time, but he was strong and he just like kept going forward. That is the kind of leader I feel like I am and would love to be, is not somebody that's so high on this pedestal looking down at people going, look at all the amazing things in my life. And, I don't like that kind of attitude. I look at this, and I know that this is not a word that we're really using right now, but as a tribe, in its most purest sense. And like a real collection of women who, and I always say and men because I hate leaving men out, but for the purposes of this program, it is women only. And, just having the I've lost my train of thought here. I'm getting all these like notifications and stuff, and it took me out. It took me out. But you see, imperfect. There, I think that's what I was saying. An imperfect leader. Whatever. So hang on. Let me see. Can I flip my camera? Okay. So it's going to be between 10 to 12 weeks long, and it's going to be live with me, and it's going to start on November 4th, and it's going to cost under $500. And we're going to start taking a look at what's going on in your life and seeing what is working, what's not working, all that kind of stuff. There's going to be really cool exercises and stuff to do in there. And then we're moving on to, this is the awareness. So this is all your self-sabotages. Oh, and this like full human design all throughout as well, which is really cool. And so we're looking at harmony here. This one is integrity. We're looking at harmony here. Really looking at what your sabotages are. What are the things that knock you out in life? Right? We need to identify these things. You've got to become aware of it in order to be able to manage it better. And then we move on to the sensuality, affection, acceptance. This is all about self-love. This is all about that self-love stuff and self-care and deepening your intuition and deepening your love for your body. So this is going to be really, really good for anybody who struggles with their body, like how it looks. It's not a weight loss program, just FYI. And then we go on to abundance, which is really cool. So this is like law of attraction and, you know, getting into how you can attract, like, you know, the cool things in your life. And it's like sort of ascending you into goddess territory here. And we'll talk a lot about getting into faith and flow. And then the last one is Ascension. And this is basically where, like, it's an indoctrination into, like, feminine energy, shadow self, like the deeper, you know, modalities in coaching that some people might have never even heard of. And, you know, all of the feminine energy stuff and goddess stuff, too. Whatever. I'm just going to say it. There is goddess stuff in this. I know it can be a word that turns people off sometimes as goddess, but you know, it is a really powerful word, and I'm really excited to have this on the marketplace. So if you're watching this and you're curious about it, send me a PM, let me know. I can start enrolling now, but the program's not going to start until November 4th. So, wow, you know what? I don't feel so bad now. Look at that. I started this live stream so nervous about selling my own program, you know, because this is so near and dear to my heart. And now I feel like a badass. I just, like, pushed through that fear. I was so scared to do that. And I pushed through that fear because I know what fear feels like in my body. I know what's bullshit in my body versus, you know, what is something that I really should not go into. And that is what I can't wait to teach women, you know, is how to navigate a fear with grace, right? And know when something is a fear or when something is an intuitive no, right? Because that can sometimes be really hard to tell. But when you know your body, it becomes so much easier to tell the difference between those things. So I'm so honored to have been chosen to teach this work, and I'm really excited about it. And so if this is something that you're interested in, then send me a PM, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you about it if you want to get on a call about it, or if you just want in, then come in. And we'll start the Facebook group, and then the program officially starts on November 4th, and I'm looking for 10 women. So 10 women. And, you know, they're going to be vetted because it needs to be the right kind of women. This is not going to be a group of complaining or, you know, anything that's like super low vibe. It's going to be a really safe space for strong, powerful women who don't have anywhere else to turn to deal with this stuff in their lives. You know, not everybody is fully supported in this journey, and some of you might have friends that you're looking around going, oh my God, I wouldn't tell them anything that's going on in my life right now, but my life is like, I need some help. So then coming into this program would be great for you because now you have a safe space to be able to share about your challenges without having to worry about anybody judging you or criticizing you or anything like that, right? We adhere to the Vegas protocol, so what happens there stays there, right? And, you know, a very supportive, very loving community that, you know, of women who will have your back and will really be able to support you in the journey. So, you know, I'm really, really excited to offer this. And if this is calling to you, you know, don't let it slip you by. Like, you know, just come on in and learn and play in this playground because it's fun. It's really, really fun in this playground and living in this space of, you know, just flow and faith and like happiness and the rest of it. Even if your life around you is like falling apart and you're just like This is crazy, you know? But like, yeah, we've got one life on this planet. So, you know, really, I think it's important that we all, you know, don't not settle. And that's also something that's always been on my mind. You know, ever since even when I was like younger. I always remember like saying to people, don't settle. Why are you settling? Don't settle. Like I'm talking in high school, in school. Like I always ask people, you know, why are you settling for that? Don't settle. Don't settle in your life. So I'm excited to teach women for now, because I want to teach everybody how to do this. You know, it's good work. It's exciting work. It's exciting work. It's transformational. It's deep work, but it will be you know, the best work that you can possibly do, because what it does is it helps set the foundation for you, right? Because like your business might be ready to go to the next level, but you as a person might not be, right? You might think that you're ready for your next level, whatever that is, but you as a woman, emotionally, you know, are just not, you're not ready, right? So, this work is critical. It's critical to do, because you can then overcome those things in a really beautiful and a really graceful way, and then watch as your life improves and as your business improves and all that kind of stuff. Like it's inevitable that will happen, because you yourself are feeling happier and more joyful and more grateful and more badass and more confident and sexier and all of those things. And so how can all of that juice not propel your career or your business forward, right? Like think about running a business when you're feeling not well and you're crabby all the time, or you're exhausted, or you're hating everything in your life, you know, like you're feeling really overwhelmed and stuff is just like piling on top of stuff. And you're trying to run a business like that, right? Like, I don't know, some businesses can do well with people who run it like that, but the business owner's not well. But a lot of businesses in that state wouldn't be doing very well if the business owner isn't doing well. So it's really important, right? Because then when you get to a place where you're feeling happier and more confident and joyful and, you know, all the rest of it, and you know how to use all of these tools, you know what your sabotages are, you know how to use law of attraction in a really cool new way. You know what your shadow side is, right? And so when you have all of this information at your fingertips, it makes it easier to run a business, because now you're so tapped in to yourself intuitively, and not just run a business, but also like in corporate, right? If you have some sort of position where, you know, it requires you to be like super strong in that position, like having all of this stuff, internally with you it just makes you so badass, right? I say from the bedroom to the boardroom. Like, who doesn't want to be like a sexy goddess in all areas, right? Like, just knowing what you want from the bedroom to the boardroom and going after it and but doing it in a way that is like in feminine flow. It's not the hustle. It's not the grind. It's not the competition. It's none of that bullshit. And it's none of that leadership that I was saying before, where it's like that, oh, I'm better than you. What? No, you're not. Get out of here. We're all humans, right? And humanity is humanity. This is why I have such a hard time picking a niche, because all people need this. And, you know, the whole thing around niching in business like drives me crazy, because it's like it really tears at me that I'm leaving out a percentage of the population. But I understand for business purposes, It's got to be done. But yes. Anyway, okay. I think I think I'm complete here. So, if you are still watching this, or you have watched enough and you are interested in this program, you are interested in learning more, then just send me a PM, connect with me, and I'll talk to you about it some more. And I will be talking about this more. I will be sharing more information, written format and stuff like that too. So if you're on the fence, you're not sure, whatever, hopefully you'll have enough opportunity to be able to get to know this a little more. And I'm hoping that maybe my vulnerability here tonight showed you that I know what I'm doing, but I'm also like super authentic. And I don't, it doesn't feel good for me to hide the fact that, you know, I have vulnerabilities too. You know, I'm over the fact that I think that you're going to think that I'm a bad coach if I tell you like my mistakes. Like, I'm over that now. That's so ego. Who cares? So, yeah, it would be my pleasure and my honor to guide 10 kick-ass women in this program through this, which is going to be amazing. And, you know, it is going to make women feel like super awesome and powerful and happy at the end of it. So, you know, if it's of interest to you, then reach out and we can get you all set up, or not. We can just have a conversation if you're not sure. All right. Yay, I did it. I'm so badass. All right. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.